I'm pretty sure at this point in time you have probably heard of the game Wii Sports for the Nintendo Wii. If you don't know what this game is, it is a demo game that comes with a Nintendo Wii console. You play 5 games from tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. You have a training game and a fitness test as well, which used to be my favorite game. I won't lie, this is one of the best games on the Wii. When I was 9 years old, I got my hands on a Wii and played almost 2 hours of Wii Sports. Baseball was my strong suit. Over the next couple of years, I continued to play games on the Wii, playing tons of games including Mario Kart Wii, Smash Bros. Brawl, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and more. However, years passed and I went on to play PC games including Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, and plenty more. One day I was feeling pretty bored. I had accidentally left my laptop at my parents' house, who lived far, far, far away. There was nothing interesting to watch on TV, and I could not find my cell phone charger anywhere. I spent about 15 minutes searching my apartment for my charger. Eventually, I did find my charger in a box of game controllers. Then I came across my old Wii sitting next to the box of controllers, and I considered playing the Wii since I didn't have anything better to do. I was glad my TV had components so I could plug my Wii in, and pulled out the first Wiimote I could find, which was a Yoshi Wiimote. I was digging up any remaining Wii games I still had, and I was glad I didn't get rid of my favorite games. I loaded up the Wii and decided to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I wanted to see if I could beat the Subspace Emissary on the intense difficulty. I put the disc in the Wii, however, the start button wouldn't work. I was confused, so I tried to play my other games. However, they came up as the same result as Brawl. The start button would not work. I was down to one more game, which was the game the console came with. Wii Sports. I knew I loved that game. I had already become the champion at every sport when I was young, but I knew I had more Miis in my Mii channel, and I could become pro in all the sports again. I was confused for 2 reasons when I put the disc in. The start button actually worked, and the intro for the game showed a picture of one of the CPU Miis, Chris to be exact, and it showed him with his hair covered in blood. His glasses had cracks in them, and there were tears running down his face. After looking at that picture, I still clicked the start button and the game began. After I pushed the A and B buttons, I was at the main menu. On the title screen, it looked very normal, and I thought the picture of Chris I saw was a glitch of some sort. I clicked my favorite sport in the game, which is baseball. When I clicked the one-player option, I noticed something wrong. The Miis in my Mii channel were all gone, which was starting to creep me out. I shrugged it off as a glitch again, and just clicked Player C and moved on. I saw my first match. Now, normally, when you start the first match on baseball, your opponent is Elisa. However, it was Sakura in this case, which was odd because she is the champion in baseball. Now I was starting to get confused. I tried starting over, but nothing happened. It was still Sakura. I figured I had no choice and just started the game. 10 minutes flew by, and I got a clean win of 17-0. Man, I still got it. I then started to notice my opponents were all in random order. Eventually, 45 minutes later, I took down Theo, and went on to the final opponent I faced in baseball. Elisa. Before I moved on to fight Elisa, I paused to put new batteries in the Wii remote, and get food. Now I was ready to take down Elisa and win baseball again. However, I noticed something was clearly wrong. First, the sky was dark as night, and now every game has daylight. The other thing is, Elisa had glowing red eyes, and her hair was, I would say, 50% red. I honestly do not want to know what the red was anyway. I just tried to shrug it off and put my game face on to take her down. I got 3 outs and no bases or runs in the first inning, and it was Elisa's turn to swing. My team was not doing too well. It was Abby's turn to bat, and she got a strikeout. What happened next was very freaky. The moment Abby was struck out, she had a face like she was afraid of something. Moments later, before the next batter went up, Elisa went up to home plate and took the bat out of Abby's hands, then bashed her skull with the bat multiple times until Abby fell down and did not get up. Luca and Matt came out, picked her up, and dragged her off the screen. Moments later, Emma went up to bat and the game resumed. The second inning came around and everything was normal, like nothing had happened. The only difference was that Abby was nowhere to be seen. I hit the bat and it was going towards Matt. Matt missed the ball and I got a double. Just like Abby, Matt had a face of horror, like he was seeing a ghost. And Elisa came up again and slapped Matt in the face. Unfortunately, that was not it for Matt. Elisa continued by kicking his crotch and took a gray object which looked like a rock and beat Matt with it until, just like Abby, Matt was down and out, and you could see blood coming out of his bald head. It was definitely a horror show to see. Again, the game continued like nothing happened. Now both Abby and Matt were gone. Nothing happened much. It was a 1-1 tied game. Heading into the last inning, I was starting to get worried about what was going on. Why was Elisa doing this? Where did Matt and Abby go? After thinking I had enough, I went to the TV to turn the Wii off. However, it didn't turn off. Neither did the TV. I tried unplugging both the Wii and the TV, but nothing happened. The game was still on. I was about to throw the TV, but then I nearly fell to the floor when I saw Kentaro on the screen, with a face of horror just like Abby and Matt. He wrote a note that said, "Don't stop playing, she will not like that." Immediately after, Elisa popped out on the screen and tackled Kentaro down to the ground. I knew at this point I had to keep playing. It was my turn to bat. The second I picked up the Wii remote, Elisa threw the ball. I hit the ball. Then Jesse caught it. Attempt number 2, Elisa struck me out. My last attempt at winning the game. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Elisa had a shocked face as soon as she threw the next ball, along with the exclamation mark on her head. With a quick reflex, I swung the bat and the ball went going. I got a home run. The second the run was complete, it said change sides. Again, strange. Normally after that, my turn should continue, but I knew I had a chance to beat Elisa. The next 2 batters for Elisa's team again went completely normal. Elisa was up to bat, and I was about to beat Elisa. The moment just came upon me. I just struck Elisa out, and I just won the game, before I could get a chance to celebrate. The game showed what looked to be a cutscene. Elisa was on screen with a face of anger. She then broke the bat in half and delivered the loudest scream I've ever heard. Elisa then went on a rampage. She saw her teammates and she went running at them and began to cause a series of events which was too graphic to watch, but I wanted to see what on earth just happened. Elisa took Akira and choked him. She grabbed Jesse's hair and took one half of the bat she broke and drove it into Jesse's pixelated flesh. In one of the most graphic scenes I've ever seen, Elisa grabbed Luca and began to bite his arms off, and then started to eat his arms. And then she jumped onto Luca and ate what was left of him. Just when I was on the edge of throwing up, the scene stopped, and she started to slowly turn her head towards the screen. And with the picture she had at the start of the game, blood was on her hair and shirt, and glowing bloodshot eyes. She ran fast at the screen, and the second she was at the point of the screen, my power suddenly just went out, and the Wii and the TV turned off. I thought I could finally breathe. But the second I did, the TV and the Wii both exploded into little pieces. The power came back on after that. At this point, I had no idea how to react as I saw Elisa kill her teammates, having Abby and Matt bleed to death, Akira got choked, Jessie had her flesh torn in two, and Luca was eaten by Elisa. I know Elisa tackled Kentaro to the ground, and I didn't see him any other time in the game. I don't even know what happened to her other teammates. Here I am a week after the incident, typing up my story on the laptop my parents would send back to me, which I was relieved about. Ever since that day, I made a decision to never go back to Wii Sports or any other Nintendo game ever again. I went to a forum to ask anybody if they had any experiences like the one I just went through. Nobody had any of the experiences I went through, and told me it was probably just in my head. Then I got an email from an anonymous username saying,
"You will regret the day you beat me."
If you don't know what this game is, a demo game that comes with a Nintendo Wii console. That is funky wording, okay. If you don't know what this game is, a demo game that comes with a Nintendo... I'm just gonna read it how it should be read. If you don't... My dumbass just accidentally stopped the recording in the middle of recording. God fucking damn it. What the fuck? Louis? Hello? Okay. Oh god, I see Ito in the corner on the recent. Go away, Ito! Please! Stop haunting me! Okay, one question. Why do we need the very specifications of what Wiimote you have? I loaded up the Wii and decided to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So I wasn't wrong to say Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Why didn't you say Super Smash Bros. Brawl the first time? God damn it! Red eyes, and her hair was... I would say 50% red. 50% cool. 50% red. Why is that there? To say it was redder or something. It was a different shade of... It was a brighter shade of red or something. Matt had a face of horror. Of horror. Kill me! And beat Matt with it. With until... I was about to throw the TB. What? Why were you about to throw... What? And then she jumped onto Luca and what was rest of him. And ate what was rest of him. Okay.